This is how you break down a LS2 6.0 out of a truck. First, we're gonna take the alternator bracket off and the power stump. Power stump pulley! So now, next step. First step was to pull the alternator bracket off. There's 3 bolts here and then 1 down here, and it comes off. Next is to take the header off, and Danielle already did that. So pull it off. Whoa! We do have some broken studs, unfortunately. This is how you take a broken coil pack, well, plug wire off.
Romantically.
Yeah. You use the tip of your fingers, okay? You firmly grasp it. Firmly grasp it! Farther! Deeper! Squeeze!
Yikes, that's not coming out.
Squeeze in. Come on, Danielle. Come on, Danielle.
Come on, Caleb.
She got that one. In the bin!
Wait, there's one more.
Here you go. Let's do this again, so come on. Come on. Let's grasp it. Get on there, come on. You're not on it.
I'm not on it.
You gotta get on the middle part.
Wait, I'm
pull.
not on it.
Good job. after you get your exhaust manifolds off on both sides, I don't know if you can see me or not. After you get your exhaust manifolds off on both sides and your power steering pump and alternator block or bracket, you can take your intake off, and you really don't have to do this in any order. And then once you get your intake off, you will be able to pull your valve covers and really clean this up. Pull your water pump off, get all this dirty crumb off and get it cleaned up, and go from there. And we also need to pull our engine mounts off.
Something doesn't belong. There we go. Those are really tiny, so.
About 10 mils. Colt move.
I don't think so.
Huh?
I don't think so.
So beautiful. So we got the trying to get the valley cover off. The intake was off. We got the intake off and trying to get the valley cover off. Pulled the knock sensor wiring harness, and I'll show you here. So it pulled the knock sensor harness off, and the connectors broke. And then that looks really, really crusty down in there. Which I don't even know how stuff gets down in there. And then there's fluid kind of everywhere, like this is oil. I'm not sure if the head gaskets are leaking, or if this is leaking. But we got to vacuum all that cruddy stuff out, pull the knock sensors out, pull this up, clean all this up and go through it, and probably just redo the head gaskets. So now you're going to see a time lapse of that. Yeah. I guess this is the next step. It's a new day, and while Danielle is... Say hi, Danielle.
Hey.
She's having so much fun. Well, she's cleaning all the gunk, and I kind of did this one, and she's doing touch-ups on that one. I'm going to take the water pump off assembly, and all you do to do that is you take these 3 bolts off, and then you take these 3 bolts off, and it should pop off. So, let's get to it. Oh, Kimosabi! You can't tell me that's not what that sounds like. Next up is the AC compressor. And you got, looks like 1, 2, 3, 15, are they 15? 15 millimeter bolts. Can you grab that?
Grab what?
So, come on. I think that's 4. That is amount of molding.
No, I don't think so.
Missing a bolt. Take the bracket off. So we got the oil pan off, and now taking the oil pickup off, and the oil pump and timing chain. Alright, so for installation of the rocker arms, you have to follow a certain spec. The valves have to be, it would be off the lobe lift, so you're not stripping the threads, but that's recommended for high performance push rods. We don't have that, we just have OEM. I found a manual that says you can just pull them off without doing that, but when I put them back on, I'll do that. So we're just going to take them off right now and pull the rocker arms out. Look how big it is. And all of the cylinder head. Got that all nice and sparkly. Sparkly. And I off this part. And now it is ready for the new head gasket to get put on.
Look how pretty.
And it's really important to make sure that all these ports and everything lined up, because I did have it on backwards, and there's coolant ports right there, and if you have it on backwards they won't line up, and these little jets are restricted to go into the head.
Okay.
For the head cooling. So now that those are all lined up, we can grab the head and stick it on, and that's what we're going to do now.
I'm just gonna grab it.
Don't drop it.
I don't want to.
Ooh. I think you have it backwards.
I yeah, I do. Hold on. I think I got it.
Yeah.
Oh.
So you just want. So it should line in on that little dowel pin over there. So don't. Okay. But what we did is we pulled one head, I should say, off and doing head gaskets, and we're going to do both heads. But there's one head there, and it's going to sit for a while. What we're going to do is we're going to put some Valvoline VR1 in it on the cells to keep it lubed up for a while, because it's going to be probably a couple months or if a year till it runs. So this way it just keeps all the fluids moisturized in it, and we're going to do that now. Make sure your hands are clean, but just kind of put your finger in there and just, you don't want to get any on your head gasket like I just did. Well, that one's a TDC, so you can't really do anything about it. And it'll smoke upon startup, but it's fine. And you just do that for every cylinder. That way, it doesn't rust, it stays looped up, and it's the best of the best. Oh, got the new head on. Well, same head, but new head gaskets on. And now we are putting in new bolts. So, you want to do the honor and open this one? Mm-hmm. And we cleaned it out and made sure that everything in there was not in there anymore. There was a bunch of buildup. Guide trays, that's what they're called. Guide trays. Took them out, cleaned those out, torqued those down. It's 8.8 foot-pounds, if anyone ever does that. I just did it to 10 for extra precaution. What are you doing?
Do these go in here or in here? Or both?
They should be the same. They should be the same.
Okay.
Oh. See if they're two different lengths. They should all be the same.
I think they are.
Are all these the same? Because these are the old ones. Oh. Gotta get all that Earl off there. As your hero would say it, Danielle. All that Earl. Earl, Dale Earnhardt. Let's get up in there. And we learned this the hard way. There's 2 generation bolts. You have first gen, which is over there, but the bolts are about 2 inches shorter. And on second gens, they're 2 inches longer. We have a second generation, Gen 3, LQ9. So these all go in. They have Loctite on them already, so you don't have to do anything. And the 2 shorter ones will go on the outer edges. And then you just have to hand start them all. And there's a torque sequence. We'll go over that here in a bit. Outside in my hand as far as you can. Just make sure you're not stripping anything. And this one too. Let's see. On first gen, all of them are this size. On second gen, they're different. Torque the M11 cylinder heads on the first pass do 22 foot-pounds, and those are bolts 1 through 8. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We gotta do that to 22 foot-pounds. So first one here. So that's one. Do it right here. That's 2, 3. Ah, there we go. Angle zeroing, sit still. Do it again, but on 9 and 10 volt, it's 50 degrees instead of 90 degrees. So we have to repeat the process, but 90 degrees on 8 out of 10, and then on 9 and 10, you have to do 50 degrees. And that is one head torqued down. The head main bolts. Now we have to do the M8 bolts to 22 foot-pounds, and we just start here, work our way out to 22 foot-pounds. Now it's fully completely torqued.